name is Mark Hanlon. I'm the writer and director of Buddy Boy, and you are listening to the Movie Raid.
It's time for the Movie Raid, and tonight's victim is a screenwriter and a director, and that is Mark Hanlon. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
And he was also involved with the 2002 film of Ghost Ship. At least a little bit of it. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Ghost Ship 2002. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And originally your script was called Chimera for the film. It wasn't called Ghost Ship.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was. The title was, I think, controlled by Warner Brothers, and I'm not sure if the 1957 film was the title itself was a Warner Brothers film, but for some reason Warner Brothers had control of the title, so Joel Silver sort of slapped that on there.
Yeah.
Which I think was probably a good marketing move. Yeah.
I mean, did any of the portion made into the film, or is it pretty much just all scrapped, or did you actually use your original script for something else?
Well, in terms of the sort of basic story, the kind of structure of it, or at least the idea of it, yeah, I mean that's pretty much intact. The characters pretty much the same. As far as the specific situations and the more kind of graphic, slasher kind of elements of it, B-movie elements, those are pretty much all added on. My script was a little more. It was a psychological thriller. It didn't kind of have this sort of. It had supernatural elements. It hinted at supernatural elements, but we didn't kind of get into the ghost thing too much, and that kind of idea that Joel Silver and Warner Brothers had to bring the William Castle horror approach to it was original with them, and that was very little of that was really in the script that I wrote originally. And then John Pogue came on and did a draft incorporating the new elements.
So originally, was this from after you did Buddy Boy, or was this quite a little bit ways ahead of that? Or were you pretty much on the list?
This was after I did Buddy Boy, which was an independent film that was very different in a lot of ways. Kind of, again, sort of psychological, kind of dark film that was, sort of tackled different territory. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you've been mainly doing independent films the whole time since then, or anything on the side that you've already done?
Yeah, I've been writing a lot. I'm sort of focused right now on one film and a half for the last several years, called All That Remains, which is sort of a psychological thriller. Surprise, surprise. That takes place in the North Pacific, far North Pacific, during the Cold War on a remote island up there. It's kind of an interesting location. So, sort of secret surrounding, kind of trying to not get into that too much, and hopefully save a little for when the movie comes out. But yeah, that's sort of been my focus.
Are you directing the film yourself, or someone else doing it?
Yeah. I'm directing from a original script of mine. So yeah.
Huh. So are you using CGI with this too, or are you actually going to make it purely raw?
We'll probably use a little bit of CGI, just because some of the sets are kind of large and require just a little bit of that. But yeah, basically it's just going to be kind of pure, cinema, just lens and film.
No, and
actors.
Yeah.
Can't forget the actors.
Yeah, it's just like CGI is completely overly used on a lot of films of today, and it just doesn't look good. It's like a cartoon in real life. You don't want to see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
Totally agree on that one.
decapitation's awesome at certain points. Like you need to cut someone's head off, you need a limb, makes a little bit more blood squirt that you can't really use with the prop because it doesn't work right, and that always happens.
Yeah, right.
It's
good for saving you when you're stuck. Absolutely.
Yeah, but if you completely paint it all up, what's the point even having actors on there either?
Yeah, it's true. But I think there's a place for it. It's just that if there's a tendency to overutilize it, and as you say, utilize it badly.
Yeah, it's just all chaotic in every way. And do you plan on actually sticking to raw than CGI, or are you actually going to just touch it up with CGI on certain scenes?
Yeah, I think we're just going to utilize it in places here and there, just to kind of touch up some things. A lot of it, there's a lot of sort of machinery circa 1985 that you just you have to either build it or somehow find it, which is extremely hard. So the CGI kind of avenue will probably be used there.
Well, that's good. So, do you actually prefer to work on location, or do you actually want to use studio? Because some people don't like going on location.
Yeah, no, I'm sympathetic to that because it's really hard to shoot on location, and but in my experience, which is not huge, I will say, anytime I shoot on location, I never regret it because it's always, for me anyway, the location often plays a part in the film, and it's important to get it right. It's as critical in telling the story and casting, as putting the right actor in the right role. It's just and also what you're doing when you're making a film is you're taking the audience on a journey, and when you can really bring them to that place, that real existent place, there's something magical about that you can't really replicate in the sort of CGI world or the claustrophobia of a studio, unless, of course, that's your intention. But as the technology evolves, that may be a very kind of antiquated view of the filmmaking process. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, technology has been evolving more and more, and you don't know if it's even going to be beneficial to even go on location anymore, and everyone's going to go in the studio and just, we can do this, and everything's going to be all automated.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
It's just like with puppeteers, man. They're ones that are breaking their asses doing all these animatronics, making creatures and other props like that. But, again, we got CGI to do that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It's like, well, where are these guys at? It's the same with same thing with stuntmen.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Something else to fill in the spot. It's like you're wasting more money on this than you could just save a little and let this actor do what he got to do, or let these people make the best creature they can for you.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah.
But since you've done a lot of independent films in the past, and you've done a lot in the future as well, do you prefer? Is it more beneficial now, or is it stressful on doing it on your own as far as the independent? Or do you prefer actually going with a company?
Well, I've never made a studio movie. I mean, I've written for studios, but I've never actually directed a film for a studio, so I can't say that the experience, I can't really compare the experiences. All I really know from a directing standpoint is having done a film that was extremely independent in terms of being allowed to do what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Playing with the studio system is that a director has a lot of layers to negotiate in making the more significant decisions, especially the creative ones. So I just know that my experience in the independent world has been that when the money is, or the financing is completely in the hands of the producer, really that's the only person you have to answer to, and that's makes life a lot easier because you wouldn't be working with this person if they didn't trust you, and they've already made the decision to, let you do what you want, within reason, of course, but they're not going to give you a hard time based on, huge marketing concerns for the most part.
Yeah, because if you're, it's good and bad on both accounts, because if you're independent, yeah, you can do whatever you want, set a budget. Sometimes it doesn't go very well either. But when you're attached to a company, you're also pressured, and you don't get what you want done within that certain amount of time.
Yeah, right.
Because it's like boom. It's same thing with TV shows. So you got you got 3 months. Oh, sorry, to make like a 65 episode series.
Yeah, no, that's brutal, and I mean, I've been on those kinds of schedules, and it's not fun at all. And when you're working 6 or 7 day weeks, and you're working 10 or 12 hours a day, and you're burned out, the crew's burned out, everybody's just tired. It starts to get a little counterproductive. It's the secret, I think, is taking those limitations and working within them creatively. And I think in some instances that really brings out your creative strengths and lends new creativity to your endeavor, because you do have these boundaries, these financial boundaries, these time constraints. Kind of in a way forces you to be more creative than you would ordinarily if you could just spend the money to give you that extra time or give you that extra whatever you needed.
No.
So from that standpoint, independent filmmaking is totally awesome.
Yeah, it's been good for some people, but again, it goes to a downfall at certain points, because you also got to make that money back.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you do. Yeah, and if it's not in the can, if you
it will be in the can if it's not in the can.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, Mike, I need to get a glass of water. Hang on a sec.
Hurry up! And you are listening to the Movie Rag.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we were just talking about you.
Cool.
But yeah, with everything, like with independent and hooked up to a company, as I said, it's got both up and down. I would say they're both equal. I mean, it's not bad going to a company. It just depends who you go to. Because if it's not in the can, it will go in the can. You got to make the money back somehow. And if you're an independent, that's going to be a real pain in the ass. Yeah,
it's true. And I mean, the films that I make, or the films that I'm interested in making, are less. They're not. I feel like that's kind of. I fall in the category somewhere in between an independent filmmaker and a studio filmmaker, in that I like offbeat topics. I like offbeat characters and situations. But I do have a really strong affinity for kind of genre material in some ways, like the thriller. And so from that standpoint, I'm not sure where I fit in, especially in this new climate that we live in, which is kind of either one extreme of studio filmmaking versus the other extreme of independent filmmaking. You're either extremely studio or extremely independent. It's hard to kind of operate in both worlds, and there are filmmakers who do, but it's increasingly harder to inhabit that territory.
Yeah, plus you got the whole downfall of the economy too, and that ain't helping either.
Yeah, it's harder than ever, yeah.
So it's like, I hope you got a big savings fund from the day you were born, because that's going to get real fucked later.
Yeah, it's tough, and it's tough for everybody, not just for directors, writers, above-the-line people, but for all of the crew, and support personnel. It's just hard going, It's there's the production is less and less, and the money to produce it is not as common as it was.
No, who knows when the economy will actually go back to where it was? Or I mean, so many industries has gone down to shit since then. I mean, even the porn industry.
Yeah,
they lost money. They're gone, and you get for a while like a lot of big time companies like auto part companies are going down and video stores are going down.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
So the question is what do you think the major faults are in the film industry of this era? What do you think the major ones is?
Major faults.
Major faults. Of course, the industry always has its ups and downs and turnarounds. But what do you think the major problems would be?
Well, I mean, I think right now it comes down to an inability to understand how the marketplace works, and that has to do with the rapid changes of distribution technology.
No.
You know, we don't really, and I think studios are kind of slow to change or slow to adapt. The bigger companies, the ones that control most of the media out there, they kind of don't know what to do. They don't know how to exploit what's going on technologically in terms of distribution.
Well, not only that, but even films are getting leaked. Of course, has been leaked onto the internet illegally. Yeah,
right. Yeah, and that's a major problem because, you know, from my standpoint anyway, you know, I got bills to pay. I have a family. I need to see that that what I do, that I can at least make a living on it, and I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Well, I mean, if you can stick it on a DVD, toss them out a couple conventions, or get a couple dollars for signings and stuff, then cool, you'll get your money back eventually. But if you get it leaked out on the internet illegally, you're never going to get your money back because they're getting it for free.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, they see it as a way, but ripping off movies and stuff. They rather than just like making, there are out now criminals out there who do copy movies and distribute them. But there are a lot of people who just
They got those dumbasses out there that go into actual movie theater and film the film.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
it looks like shit.
Yeah, and the thing is that it doesn't just take the money out of the hands of big studios and corporations. That it does do, but it also takes money out of working men and women who are in the film industry. Like making working class wages, middle class wages, a lot of them, and it puts them out of work. And we don't want to see the same thing happen to the movie industry that happened to the music industry, which is like a total collapse and and now it seems like the music industry is sort of recuperating a little bit, but we don't want to go through that.
No, I mean it's just as bad for the bands of today are going through that same shit every single year by year.
Yeah,
it's very sad, and it's equally just as sad for the film industry. And you can't change it because once anything that goes on the internet, you're not going to stop it regardless.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. It's like a freight train.
It's like have a sample, cool, and even Rob Zombie's work got leaked out, but he had over 60 different type of versions of his film too.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, you get the before cut, the second cut, and right.
Yeah, and then there's like the outtakes and stuff. It's like that didn't even make it into film. Why does he even know here?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, the film industry is finally in a way got back into its groove again because now they finally got away from the damn remakes after remake after remake after remake.
Yeah, right, yeah.
It's non-stop remakes for the past year, but actually past, 4 years?
Oh, at least.
But of course, you still see a film here and there, but now we're also going back to 3D.
Yeah, exactly, right.
And now everybody is doing 3D like it's a new thing. It's going off and on, and it in a way, it could be a problem, but it could also fade away just as quick.
Yeah, I don't know what the latest trending is for that. It seems like it's kind of slowed a little bit. Yeah,
it's like like Saw, they experimented with it, and of course you got the kid ones. The kid ones are great. That goes to 3D, those are awesome. Those make the best one, like Rango.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean something like that. But when it comes to actual film, it could be a big risk.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because again, it goes back to the whole cartoon and going into real life, just popping out. It's like it don't look that great.
Well, yeah, absolutely. If it's done badly, it's really not very good at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, Yeah, you think the industry has gone pretty fair for you, or do you think it's still going down a little bit?
Yeah, I feel like any business endeavor, it's it's got its ups and downs, and it's susceptible to the shifts, the contractions of the economy as a whole, and I think that overall, it's going to recover like everything else. And I mean, I feel like it never really experienced the same dip that a lot of industries did, at the worst of the recession. And it seems to be, pretty healthy now. So if that's your question, I'm not sure that's what you mean.
Yeah, it's just right now it's okay status. I wouldn't say it's great still, but I mean, now we're finally, the industry is kind of shifting different genres rather than just one genre, because now horror genre is still slipping pretty quick.
Yeah, right.
The horror genre is almost
saturated.
It's dead, dude. I mean, you got independent films that's horror. Those are always going, but you don't really see a decent one just pop out like when Dawn of the Dead came out, when Texas Chainsaw Massacre and all those oldie ones, The Exorcist, just pop and boom, made a whole cult classic.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, and I think that it's a cyclical business, and horror has always been cyclical. It's like I remember there was a time where there was this incredible backlash, and any sort of horror scripts were kind of ignored because they just didn't want to go there, and then suddenly. This was in the sort of late 80s, and then suddenly horror was big again. It's sort of like a 5 to 10 year cycle back.
Yeah, and finally certain horror films are getting back onto DVD.
Yeah, right.
And, rather than just disintegrate in the abyss of nothingness.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, okay, for your current project, go ahead and, when can we expect to see this film? Maybe next year sometime?
Well, we're shooting next year, so might be the year after, second quarter 2013. So.
Oh, that is if we live, right?
Say what?
That is if the end of the world don't happen next year.
Yeah, right. Think about filmmakers. The cycle of your product is way out there, so it's kind of iffy to predict anything, but.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Go ahead and plug in any web addresses, anything that you would like to plug in, even with Buddy Boy if you like.
Yeah, my own URL is markhanlon.net, so anybody who wants to check out the latest info of what's going on can do that. But yeah, that's probably what I'd throw out there.
Okay. Any final words as far as a director toward those that are wanting to direct?
Yeah, my words of advice, I guess, such as they are, is, right now it's never been a better time, really, to go out there and do it, because there's so many options for you in terms of what you can direct and where you can direct it and where it's distributed. The technology that allows you to make it also allows you to distribute it and allows other people to see it more readily, so you have your greater audiences for your work. It's a big, wonderful world out there. You just need to go out there and you need to figure out a plan and really go for it, because it's a great way to make a living. It's nice work if you can get it, and you can get it if you try.
Oh yeah. So there you go, Mark Hanlon, screenwriter and director.